everybody, welcome back to Serving Up Plumbing with me, David Butler. Today we're going to be talking about neutralizers that you have to put on tankless water heaters. But first, please make sure and hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and please comment what you'd like to see in the future. Now on to tankless neutralizers. First of all, what is a neutralizer? Well, a neutralizer takes acidic water that comes out of a tankless water heater's condensate and it makes it neutral pH, which means it's just like water once it comes out. But before it goes through the neutralizer, the water is acidic, which means it can damage metallic pipes. That means the neutralizer has to go close to the tankless, and inside it, it has small little rocks or some type of media in it that will take acidic water, and then by chemical reaction with whatever the media is, it neutralizes it into 7.0 neutral water. Then it's safe to discharge into any type of pipe, into the ground, wherever you need to put it, and it won't do any damage. Why does a tankless produce acidic water? Well, not all tankless do, but tankless that are condensing tankless, 95% or higher efficiency, produce acidic water. How do they do that? Well, when a 95% efficient tankless burns, it's trying to remove all the heat, up to 95%, out of the gases that are coming off that gas burner. When you do that, because of the air that it's intaking, and there's a lot of moisture on the intake of the air, that moisture starts coming out of, or condensing out of, the gases that come off the burner. That water that comes off that condensate water, has chemicals mixed in it that include the mercaptan, that is the odorant, plus the gas itself that's left over, the residual gas. Those things, when mixed with water, produce an acidic water. That's how it produces the water and causes the problems that we have. We need to get rid of that acidic water. And how do we do it? With a neutralizer. So, when do we need a neutralizer on our tankless? All tankless don't have to have neutralizers on them. Now, all condensing tankless don't even have to have neutralizers on them. When we need a neutralizer is any time we have metallic pipes in our system. That means if you have any copper tubing drains that might be connected to it, and you don't ever want to run your neutralizer piping in a copper drain. It will eat a hole through it. Anytime we have cast iron pipe in the house, so that means if the house was built pre-1980, 70s, 60s, and you're adding a tankless back into it, you need to make sure and add a neutralizer onto that, because even though you may be tying into a drain that's got PVC under it or something, if it has a copper drain arm, or if it has cast iron in the yard or cast iron under the house, that acidic water will flow on down and it will eat the bottom out of that cast iron or eat the bottom out of the copper drain arms in your system. So, if you have an older house that has any type of metallic pipe whatsoever, you should use a neutralizer on it. Well, if the house has PVC pipe in it, you don't have to have a neutralizer, but that means it has PVC drain going from the tankless, it has PVC pipes that are in the drains under the house and in the house, and it has a PVC sewer line going out to the city main. That's when you don't need a neutralizer. What if you're going to run it outside and tie it in somewhere outside, or tie it into a gravel pit maybe? Well, again, we need a neutralizer for this, because if we put it in a gravel pit, and maybe it's around some ornamental plants, maybe you've got bushes or shrub or grass somewhere close by, well, this acid going into the ground is going to turn the soil very acidic around that gravel pit over time. Won't do it right away, but over time it's going to put a lot of acid in that soil, and way too much. It's going to start killing the grass, killing the plants, those sort of things. Now, if you've got a gravel, arid, landscaped yard that doesn't need much water, and it's all solid gravel or crushed granite or decomposed granite, and you don't have any bushes close by or no cactus or anything right next to it, at least within 8 or 10 feet, you should be okay. You probably won't need a neutralizer. But if there's any kind of greenery, plants, or anything growing anywhere near that gravel pit that you're putting in, you want to make sure and put a neutralizer on it to keep from making the soil acidic and killing the plants. Now, one thing about neutralizers, there's several different brands. Some of them look alike, some of them don't look alike. All the neutralizers do a good job. What if you have a condensate pump? You need a neutralizer on a condensate pump. There's even package units that have the neutralizer built into the condensate pump. Maybe you can't run it into a drain or run it outside and you have to pump it up overhead. Well, you can use the neutralizer pump, or you can use a regular pump and add a neutralizer to your tankless. In that case, the neutralizer needs to go as close under the tankless as you can get it. Right where the water comes out of the tankless, we want the neutralizer. You're going to see in a lot of these photos and pictures different types of installs of the neutralizers. And all of that's going to help you learn where you need to put it, how you need to put it, and what you need to do with it. One final question is, how long is a neutralizer going to last? Well, different neutralizers may last different times, plus it has to do with how much do you use your tankless water heater. You're only getting condensate water out of a tankless when the tankless is running. So it's only running when you're using hot water. Most of the neutralizers say they'll last about 8 years. Now at that point in time, you either need to replace the neutralizer completely or you've got to replace the media that's inside it, just depending on how the neutralizer's made. Some of them you can regenerate with new media, others have to be thrown away and replaced. How do you know? Well, you can actually take pH tape and put on the discharge water. pH tape that measures acidity. When you put that pH tape under there, if it's still high up there in the upper 7s, 8, somewhere in that range, you've got a neutralizer that is not working. If it's right around 7.0, you're good. Your neutralizer's still working. And that's all you have to do to test to see if your neutralizer's still working. You want to make sure and check it though once it's about 6 to 8 years old. Also, especially if it's starting to build up inside, it looks really bad where you can see the neutralizer material, the rocks or stones or whatever's in there, the pellets. If that looks really bad and start having a lot of buildup on it, sometimes it even looks kind of fuzzy, it may turn brown, then you need to make sure and test your water and see if it's still working. It may be time to replace your neutralizer. That's a lot of information about neutralizers. Where do we need them? Where do we discharge them? What do we need to do to maintain them? All of those things. Also, always make sure and read the manufacturer's instructions on the particular model you're installing. You never know, it may be changed. Different ones have different ways of installation. Vertical, horizontal, all of these different things. You need to make sure and read those instructions. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it was educational for you, and I hope you understand a little bit more about why we need neutralizers on condensing tankless. That acidic water will really cause a problem with metallic pipes. Please give this video a thumbs up. Let me know your comments. If you've used neutralizers before or have a favorite, I'd love to hear about it. Don't forget, tell your friends the Butler did it. Which means it can damage metallic pipes. Pipes.
Hi.